Well, this one's big for me. When I was younger, I ended up with a bone marrow virus. They initially thought I had leukemia. Um, it all sort of started like I was a regular kid. I was playing footy at school one day. Um, I came home from school and we determined that I'd fallen, well, not fallen on a football. I'd scored a try and landed on a football, and I was going to get in the shower, and I took my shirt off. My dad sort of went really white in the face, and I looked down and I noticed what looked like a broken rib, but it was actually blood pouring into my chest because I had no red or white blood cells. There was no clotting in my blood, so it was just pouring out from the bruise. So yeah, I'm sort of a bit stuck on the positives and upsides to that. I got really really crook. I wasn't even allowed to stay in hospital. I was that sick. I had no immune system at all. Um, I just felt, I don't know, it was just really hard. I felt like a burden on my family. I felt trapped because I wasn't allowed to do anything. Um, and being 8 years old, all you want to do is get outside and do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to sort of find the upsides of it.
Yeah. We'll get there. I just want to say too that what is coming up for you here is not you. It's this younger version of you that's feeling that pain, right? So I'm kind of talking to this younger version of you right now. So what was the fear? You said fear of dying, was it?
Yeah, because as I said, I had no immune system, so if I caught the flu, it could have killed me. If I got any sort of illness, I could have died from it. I was
Yep.
having blood tests every 2 weeks to make sure that my blood cells were on the way back up. It took almost 4 months for me to recover from it.
Yep.
But yeah, it was pretty scary at the time, especially being 8 years old and not sort of understanding it all, but understanding that it wasn't a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So what does the 8-year-old version of you need to know about this?
Oh, he had no control over the situation.
Yeah.
Um, it's at the end of the day, everyone gets sick. It was just a little bit sicker than most. Um,
Mhm.
it wasn't his fault. Um,
Yeah. So if it wasn't his fault, that wasn't your fault because you were him and he is you.
yeah.
What what were some of the what were some of the did you get any benefits or upsides, positives?
Like the only one I could find, mate, was I spent a lot of time with mum and dad because they were running me around to the hospital all the time.
Yeah.
I did have a pretty good relationship with my parents up until a few years ago, due to other things, due to relationship issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's another story. But yeah, that's the only upside I could find is I spent a lot of time with my parents. But then again, as I said, I felt like a bit of a burden because it was taking away from my family. Like I've got three other brothers and a sister as well. Um, so yeah, it's sort of at times it was good, but at times I felt like I was sort of taking away from them as well.
Yeah. I get it. How do you value your health now because of that?
Um, to be totally honest, Brendan, it didn't. My health sort of deteriorated um, for a long time. I was a heavy drug user, um, and yeah, I didn't. I think it sort of affected me in not a good way. I sort of took it in the sense of, well, if I don't know, yeah, I didn't really care too much up until sort of recently. I had again a few other dramas happen, um, but it's only been recently I've actually started taking care of myself and my health.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's what's so sort of hard to find benefits and positive. Just I don't know.
So you had a fear of dying. Has that stopped you from doing anything that potentially you shouldn't have? Have you been a bit more safer in other areas?
Oh yeah, I've been a lot more cautious in regards to that sort of thing. Like, a lot of my mates used to do a lot of stupid shit in cars and stuff like that, and I've lost a few mates to car accidents and things like that. And I've always sort of had that moment where I don't know. I suppose it's a voice in the back of your head going, "No, this isn't safe, and you shouldn't be doing these things."
So
But
potentially that happening has saved your life.
in a sense, yeah, yeah.
Interesting. How has it made you a different or a better father? How have you? Because you've got kids, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids. Yeah, I'm very cautious with my children. Not to the point where I'm mollycoddle them or anything. But I do instill a lot of stuff like that into them. Especially if they're in their early teens. So they're coming up to those years of maybe doing reckless things, and I've just sort of warned them like I've been there and done it, and it's not nice, and they've seen the outcomes. They've seen my mates pass and stuff like that because I had kids at quite a young age.
Yeah.
And I think they sort of get that. So yeah, it's made me a bit more of a caring, caring parent, I suppose, in the sense of them looking out for themselves when they're out there doing things.
Yeah. Awesome. How else has it made you a better father?
Um,
Having that situation happening or having the fear of death or fear of dying? How has that
yeah,
made you a father?
I've got a really good relationship with my kids. Especially my daughter. She's 14. She's 3 years older than her younger brother. We've always sort of been joined to the hip, me and her, and our relationships where they're sort of. I've sort of come to realise that my kids are my ride or die. Like I've got no one else but them, and they've got no one else but me.
Mm. So how do you think your parents felt with you? If you feel about that towards your kids?
My parents were a little bit more reckless, Brendan. My dad used to run a hotel, so he wasn't home much. But then he ended up getting sick. He ended up getting diabetes. So then he retired from work and he was at home a lot. But things went downhill, sort of in the sense of the caring nature of a family. In a sense, we were the sort of reckless family, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. What
There wasn't.
what can you learn, or what does this 8-year-old version of you, what can he learn from that happening?
I suppose to be more cautious because that's what I have learned. To be more caring.
Yeah. Cool. What else? More cautious, more caring. There's 2 more. What else? What else can you learn about that happening?
I'm not actually sure.
If you were to know.
Yeah, I'm sort of drawing a blank, mate.
Mhm. What's there to fear?
Well, nothing really, because it's not. Again, I've got no control over it.
Mm. Yeah. So when you think about that fear and that 8-year-old version of you, what happens now with that 8-year-old version of you?
Well, I suppose it's a little bit more at peace.
Why?
because again, he knows it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Again, he couldn't control the situation, and it's sort of, it is what it is, and it happened for a reason, I suppose.
Okay. And so you know that. What is the reason?
Probably to prepare me for I don't know, for being a better parent, I suppose. For I don't know, for taking the steps to make my kids feel cared for in any situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they do. They love me to death. I know they do. As I said, they're sort of my ride or die. So yeah.
So because I'm just guessing that your father probably wasn't there as much. Did you want him there at that time?
Well, yeah, I did, but I sort of like, again, he wasn't well either.
Mm.
So that, again, I sort of felt like I was taking away from certain things when it came to his health, and
Yeah.
but yeah.
So how has that changed the way you are a father?
Well, as I said, the relationship I have with my kids, they can come to me with anything, Brendan, and they do this. They're so open with me. It's not funny. Even down to the smallest things, like even my daughter, like being her dad, she still comes to me with all her girly things, and it's sort of awkward at times, but I get it, and I know like it's human nature for that thing to happen, and I sort of just take it on board because I know she hasn't got a mum, so
Yeah.
she sort of needs me to lean both ways in a sense, and I do, and again our relationship's really good because of it.
Yeah, amazing. So how else has having a fear of dying, how else has that helped you?
Um, I don't know. It's just, as I said, it's probably made me the father I am, and I don't know. It is the reason I care so much, and sort of worry so much as well.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
So if that didn't happen, how would you be a different father?
So I've got the perfect example would be my twin brother.
Mm.
As I said, I've got 3 other brothers. Myself, I'm a twin, and my little brothers are twins as well. And I've always told everyone that my brother's the evil twin, but we were headed down the same sort of path. And
All
then
right.
yeah, things sort of changed.
So if that didn't happen, you would be exactly next to your brother right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
And like I love my brother to death, but he's a shit of a person.
I didn't mean to laugh at that, but
No, I totally get it, mate. Most people do, especially if you knew my brother.
yeah. So if anything, having a fear of dying has made you such a better man and father and person.
Yeah, yeah,
That must be relieving to see.
yeah. Just a little, you feel it in the chest.
I do. No, I think
I could see it on your face. Not only do you feel it, I feel it too, mate.
good. There we go.
Thank you.